Hello again. Welcome to Kerbal Space Program Science Mode, Part 20, titled Ike and Subscribe, because we're going to be doing some stuff around Ike, and then maybe some more things depending on timing. But yeah, let's go. Science, 23 flights in progress. That's much of as a way of like telling it that some things aren't actually flights, like satellites and stuff, but there you go. Right. Tracking station. So yes, if we can switch to Duna, our focus at the moment is, so essentially like our main thing today is we have the arrival of our Comsat, and then a few days later the arrival of our Ike Lander, and then at some later point the Duna Lander in, good 19 days later than that. So that's basically what we'll be focusing on today, and if we get time I'll start coming up with designing a space dock is the plan. But yes, so I reckon the Duna Comsat is the next thing, because these guys are happily in orbit around Ike now, and they'll all happily stay there whilst we're actually just double check the thing. All right, so the Pioneers Science Lab is going to go off first. So I reckon if we do that, let's go and fly these guys and just sort that out first. Ooh, wrong one. This one. There we go. Oh, look at them. They're loving it. They're all so happy. Let's hope it stays that way and I don't kill any of them. Right, so yes, we have the science lab, which I guess we can just get rid of that. Hopefully we should wah 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 wah. Okay, let's maybe do that in map mode, because otherwise it might be a bit I don't know, that might be cause issues. Actually no, we don't want to do it in map mode because we want to be able to see the science going up. This is fun. 22 days still to go. Oh, so close. There we go. 500 science. What would we like for power? I'm sure we're fine for a transmitter. We don't do that. Let's do that. And then we'll transmit our 500 science. And then we'll go and deal with Duna Comsat. And then hope that actually goes well, because if it doesn't, then I think we should be okay. But let's transmit that. Also do that, let's make sure we have Jeb and Nat, who are both pilots, are there, so we have them, or hopefully we have them if we need them. Almost out of electric charge. Okay, that's fine. Cool. So I mean they're going to replenish their electric charge by the time we get around to that. So, without further ado, let's go and find our Duna Comsat, which I assume is here, considering we're both currently bouncing a signal from them. Back to Kerbin, which is all the way over there now. So let's switch to and see if we can't sort out this thing. Now I have my sort of like injection orbit target here. And if I recall our maneuver, it should give us a 339.538. Just yeah, I think this is about as close as we could get it, isn't it? Because yeah, it's as close as this would actually give us. 537.6. So so the plan will be to try and do the final adjustment. So we want 33.1. So the plan is to do the final adjustment with the final adjustment with RCS thrusters. So yeah, so let's got a 4 minute 12-second burn. Gosh, this thing is slow. These things are, yeah. That is a long burn to capture at Ike. But I believe if I recall, our Ike intercept occurs at 38, and yeah, so we should have more than enough time to complete this. So yeah, let's once we've actually pointed at our maneuver node, which hopefully won't change too much, let's get rid of Duna Comsat because we're about to time warp to this, and then hope Ike Lander doesn't screw us on the doesn't screw us with the time warp killing. But yeah, can we see them yet? Don't know if they're quite visible. I think they would be over there, but I don't know. But in theory, we should be pointing retrograde. So by the time we actually intercept, we should be yeah. Let's just do this. See if you can spot it. There it is. Going around. Cool, 58 seconds. There you go. And we still have full probe control, direct connection to Space Center. That is good. Means as long as we can get into orbit, we should be okay. But yeah, let's just keep an eye on our apoapsis infinities. Not spelled correctly. This is going to be a fairly long burn, so we'll probably do some fizz warp to get us down, but it should be enough to capture. Because again, we should complete the burn before we leave Ike's sphere of influence. So. There we go. So 339.533.1. Okay, right, that's a bit too much. So now if we do this, and then three, 533. 520.8. is going to have to do 3 hours 15, 7. We want 3, 14, 14. I wonder if we can do it by. I don't think we can do it by that, but 'Actually, I thought we. Five two 8.4. 338. No, that's wrong. Not 339. 532.5. That is close. That is very close. I don't even get any closer than that. Not unless we can. No. Unless we control all of these. I guess you can thrust them at these. Maybe we can thrust them at these tag all the way down. Get it like, ah, nice. So maybe we can like do it super precisely. 3.2, that is probably about as good as we're going to get it. We want 3.1, 3.2. Alright, 339.533.2. That is as close as we're going to get it. So yeah, now what we do is we probably just point ourselves retro because I think we should have plenty of RCS. Yeah. So I'm thinking if we do oh yeah, we've done this. So if we wait until we go around to our apoapsis and then we correct our periapsis. So let's just double check our timing. We should have 2 days, 3 hours, 40 minutes before the Ike Lander arrives. So I'm thinking we go around to apoapsis, we try and adjust our periapsis down to 200, as close to 200 exactly as we can, and then we start looking at deploying our satellites. So let's see, 1 hour 32 minutes, let's go to 1 hour 27, let's warp here. Just everything's around to prograde, and we're going to be doing RCS, so it doesn't matter what direction we're pointing in, so long as we're pointing along the prograde retrograde axis. And the plan will be to nudge our periapsis. So we're pointing forwards, so we want to go We want to reduce our velocity in order to reduce our periapsis height. So we want to be RCS thrusting backwards. Is the plan. So if we just sort of time up closer to it's like 20 seconds, right? So try and do some very, very fine adjustments here. This should be like 2 meters per second, so it should require a bit of gas. So 198. Oh, so close. Again, can we reduce this thrust limiter? I don't remember if we had any other. I think those are the only RCS thrusters we had on board, aren't we? Right. Did we reduce it to 0? I wanted to. We did. I wanted to reduce it to 1. Ooh, we can reduce it to 0.5. No, 0.5. There we go. Right. There we go. 200. Wait. 339, 533.1, 200. That's exactly the orbit we want. Yeah, orbital period 3 hours, 40 minutes, 14 seconds. Nice. Done. Right, cool. So now we just leave this thing in orbit and hope we don't nudge it too far out of orbit when we're doing our thing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pop this thing to normal. And then, so basically this is going to be like orbiting around, pointing straight upwards, because that way we can then rotate it so that each satellite is pointing along the retrograde when we deploy it, is the plan. And again, our orbital period is 3 hours, 40 minutes, so it should take us, in theory, free orbit, so it should take us 9 hours. So about a day and a half to get this set up. Which will just make sure that we have radio coverage when the Ike Lander, and then the Duna Lander is considerably further away, so once the Ike Lander is in orbit, we can then rocket this bad boy down into Duna's orbit. Let's reset that. Right, cool. So now that we're pointed straight up, this very, very long thing. So yeah, let's go to here. Periapsis there. 1 hour and 34, so we want to go to about 1 hour and 30. Let's go. Cool. Let's go to stability assist because we don't want to, because we're about to change our control point. Can I aim camera up here? There we go. Right. Cool. So let's hibernation is off. Let's try control from here. And then can we? It's already kind of pointing retrograde, so I feel like we're probably okay there. So we are 3 minutes from periapsis. So let's decouple. Let's give a C. slight nudge. Just so we're drifting away. Got a minute and 59 seconds. So we're looking for 19.87 meters per second of delta V retrograde. And we're wanting 22541. Again, the main thing here is the timing of this orbit rather than necessarily the actual specifics. So 1 second burn is not great. So let's make that a 10-second burn. Point ourselves. Oh yeah, I need to turn on the there we go. Turn on the reaction wheels because I have them disabled at the moment. So if we switch back to this one, okay, it's not exactly the same, but the timing's the same, so that's fine. 21 seconds, 17-second burn. That's not so bad. Gives us a bit more fine control to get it perfect. So yeah, 22541. Two two five four one. Brilliant. Right. We done. Let's shut you down. Don't accidentally do the thing. I think we switch to satellites. And let's point you radial in. Deploy our solar panels, which are way bigger than we need. And let's rename Ike Comsat 1 relay. Accept, and this is done. This is in orbit now. So we will. Can we switch back to this? We can. Okay, let's point you back up to radial, to normal. Orbital period's not quite right, but I don't think we're going to be able to adjust it that easily. So we will just have to, because I think what happens is that this gets pushed slightly by the engine exhaust of this thing. So it gets I mean it'll be slightly out, but yeah. Again, like so long as they're it'd be fine. Cool. Right. So back on to the next one. Let's double check timing. We are still 2 days away. That's fine. So again, per hour sets to 3 hours 12 minutes. Let's go to 3 hours and 10 is probably a little bit much. 3 hours and 9. Let's go there. Cool. Actually, let's just do it turn on relays while we're here, so we know what's. This one should now be ahead of us by about a third. Cool. Right, we are 2 minutes and 42 seconds in per axis. Let's go for this one next. So let's aim camera here. Let us go back to stability assist. Let's control from here. Let's let's not control from. Actually, let's not do that. Let's open this. Why won't you open? Have you not with power? We've got power. We have control. Why aren't you opening? Oh well, never mind. Actually, if we are controlling from here, then we do want to. Okay. Yeah, we can just do this. 1 minute and 35 seconds. Just want to rotate it so that it's pointing retrograde, so that then we can, like so. There we go. That works. And then we can, again, we can aim the camera. We can then, we're controlling from here. Let's decouple. Activate engine. Thrust emitter to like very low. Then nudge. Ooh, we have 50 seconds of pre-access, so we need to do this. Right, hang on. To be fair, we can probably just eyeball it. So we need to toggle torque, rotate to retrograde, set this to more than like 10. Went for last time. 23 seconds of pre-access, so we just want to keep burning until we are 225.14. 225.41. 225.41, brilliant. Cool. Shut this down. Rename vessel, configure vessel naming to Ike Comsat 2. Accept. Let's go switch to satellites. Let's rotate ourselves to radial in. And let's expand those solar panels. Looking good. Right, hopefully now we can still switch back here, and yeah. Keep you pointing at normal. And then, hopefully these should have similar. Again, our thing is getting a bit slightly off, but I mean, as long as you stay in sync, I don't really mind that much. And again, this thing's a bit unwieldy to like correct the orbit each time, so let's do the final one, which is in 13, so we want to go to like what is it, 13, I want to go a bit earlier than that. 8's probably quite good. Right. Wee. Okie dokie. Right. It looks like we're going that way, so I think if we try and do our rotating our satellite to face retrograde now. Like so. And we aim here. Stability assist. We control from here. We're about pointing in the right direction. We decouple. We activate the engine. We put the engine power quite down. And we hit the that just to give us a little nudge, so start drifting out. Activate our torque. Oh wow, 5 viewers. That's unusual for me. Welcome, if people are watching. Hope you're enjoying this incredibly relaxed, systematic deployment of communication satellites around Ike in preparation for arrival of the lander. Cool, I think that's probably far enough for us to start pointing retrograde. Set this to, again, 10, so we have the same about burn time. And then we just, let's get us a little bit further towards the periapsis. There we go, 30 seconds periapsis. Right, no, 8 seconds, we should start going. Right, 225 for 225.41. 225.41. That'll do. That'll do nicely. Right, let's shut this down. As always, let's rename this Ike Comsat free of free. Accept. Rotate us radial in. Make sure we're on the correct action group, and then we hit 0 and deploy those solar panels. And that's, yeah, it should be a nice, hopefully nice triangle of, yeah, hopefully nice, nice communication triangle. Let's leave those operational for now. That should be everything we need for this communications relay, so let's switch back to you. Let's rotate you retrograde, because retrograde will become prograde around the other side of the orbit. Anyway, so what we'll do is we'll circularize this at the we'll circularize it at the apoapsis so that we're not at risk of colliding with anything, and then we will focus on the arrival of the Ike Lander before we start worrying about setting up our Duna comnet, because we don't need the Duna comnet until Ike Lander is 5 hours away. The day the Duna Lander's not arriving for 20 days, so we've got plenty of time to set up our Duna Comsat. But yes, so we keep this, we do this, Apple access is there. Let's just set up our maneuver node. Let's just circularize. Let me just do here. Oh, not this slowdown. Right. That'll do. That's about as circular as I care to make it. Where the burn is in 1 hour and 35 minutes. It's a 3-second burn, which I guess we'll do it. We won't do it at full power. Again, it doesn't need to be precise because you know, we're done on the insertion orbit now. So yeah, well, let's go. Just want to get this thing out of the way. And we'll come back and worry about it later. Because this is the first time I'm going to be burning it with half the satellites missing, but because I did one from each stage, hopefully the balance should be the same. And of course this thing turns very slowly, so if it's not, then the engines will probably be overpowering the reaction wheels somewhat. That'll do. Nice. Hope that should be a relatively circular orbit. 246 to 367. Yeah. Yeah, that's circular enough. Cool. So, I guess the next thing is oh yes, because the Ike Lander this is its track through the Duna system. Let's make sure it is still going to intercept Ike, because it won't be doing patch connects, will it? Okay, so yeah, the next thing is the Ike Lander. So let's go ahead and switch to that since we're done with this bit. Right, and then hopefully, yeah, because this thing's got patch connects, hasn't it? So in theory, yeah, we should get our Ike periapsis there. 1 minute 55-second burn, which is not to be unexpected because yeah, we do have it's not a very big payload on this thing, so the nuclear engines are a lot nicer when it comes to still 941, so we're not gonna have a lot of fuel left, are we? About 600, which might be enough to warrant an attempted refuel. There you are. There's Duna and Ike. Make sure these are at full power. Yep. Here it comes. Why is what the? Okay, that was oh, forgot. That's what happens. That's what happens if you don't cancel the alarm before you do the warp. be a relatively circular orbit, 50 to 35. That's not. It's not very circular. Can we get that down a bit? Oh wow, that is that's not great. So we can use try and use the fuel in this thing to let's set this as target and let's sort out aligning our orbits with this one rather than using the fuel in the main ship. So this is a descending node, so we want to go up. There we go, right. And that'll give us a new 39 to, yeah. I think 39 to, that'll do. That'll do for an orbit. Yeah, probably isn't going to be a lot of fuel in this thing for to transfer, but there you go. That'll do. And that's just. Yeah, 39 to 37 is probably like. That's probably circular enough to manage a rendezvous without too much trouble. So I think we just probably leave it at that. Let's point your prograde. Actually, if we're coming in from a higher orbit, we're going to be traveling faster than. So yeah, if this ship's coming in from a higher orbit, it means we'll be traveling faster, which means that the so we'll be catching up to Ike Lander, which means we'll be coming at it from its retrograde direction, I think. So we're essentially coming at it from behind. So if we point retrograde, then hopefully the Ike Lander will be well, no, we don't want RCS on. The Ike Lander will be pointing towards us as we arrive at it, which would be the plan. So let's think. Yeah, so yeah, yeah, you do need to get, yeah. So if you don't delete the alarm like that, you end up with before you do the before you warp to the maneuver, the like alarm clock takes over the warp control, and it like warps you to the exact time of the thing rather than like a few minutes. I think you can actually add a thing which gives you a bit of leeway time, so it'll go off like a minute or two before the actual maneuver is due, which is probably a better idea. Yeah, alarm margin. It should give you 1 minute alarm margin. But anyway, so that is in 18 days, which I think is enough time. We could probably try and do this Ike landing, um, or at least we could, or at least dock with the Ike Lander, and do the. I guess do the docking of the Ike Lander, do the engineering work on it, and like, you know, ditch this thing. How much fuel is left in here? Not a lot. But if I can deal with the fuel issue on here is my question, because again we have this thing where unfortunately the fuel in here has not been burning in prior. Like I think priority is yeah, I should adjust the flow priority so that in future so that this thing empties first. But I don't think I can transfer the fuel, unfortunately. It seems to think that I can, but it won't let me. I have a feeling because this thing is blocking fuel transfer, which is a bit annoying. Unless I can transfer it into one of these. I don't think it works now. What I could try doing maybe is doing the because I mean like in theory you should be able to like this thing is draining, so these engines are using it. It's just not letting me transfer it across. But if I increase the fuel priority like this, then maybe when we do burns, it'll burn this fuel first rather than this stuff. Is my thinking. And then hopefully we don't waste too much when we have to dump this to transfer. Because again, if we can get this down below 200, then it's worth refueling from the Ike Lander transfer stage. So let's set Ike Lander as target. Because the thing is, we need to make sure that we've got the comnet set up around Duna to make sure that we can actually get the Duna Lander into its parking orbit as well. So I'm kind of tempted to do that now because I don't know how long this will take, and I don't want to be rushing to try and get this done when like the Duna Lander is inbound. Whereas like these guys are in stable orbits, so like these guys will wait forever. Like I mean, we can sort this out after the Duna Lander's arrived. So yeah, I'm thinking actually if we prioritize the like some so apologies for anyone who's not really been enjoying the Comsat deployment phase of this mission. I think we're going to switch back and do the last bit of that and see how much fuel we've got left in this thing, because like this is going to be hopefully our like a nice little fuel tank when we're done, which we can go and refuel the. Yeah, that's so yes, our Duna. We want our periapsis to be 500 kilometers, and our apoapsis to be a 846.718.5. Again, I've got those numbers from one of those like the website where you can calculate um, the insert like the resonant orbit for a particular thing. So we want to be leaving this in Ike's retrograde direction. So probably adding a maneuver like here or something. And we want our Duna parameters to be more than that. I don't even know if 500 kilometers is even feasible. I didn't check what the nice minutes about. We've got plenty of time. Okay, we can do it. Oh yeah, so yeah, the hypothesis is 3 million, so we should be fine. I didn't check what Ike's sphere of influence is like. 2.8, yeah. 0.2, so close. 499. I'll take a 2 minute. I'll take a 2 meter difference. 28-second burn. 136 meters per second. Okay, let's warp to. Again, this orbital period's going to be. Yeah. Yeah, let's do this. 28-second burn, which isn't so bad. That's it's we're going to have to deal with because yeah, our engines are at maximum thrust, so. Yeah, plan will be to keep it on to time as well, because I do have something on 8 o'clock, so I do need to actually finish on time tonight. But yeah, so the plan will be to set up these satellites and then pop this transfer stage in a relatively low Duna orbit, with a view to deorbiting stuff once we've got like after our Duna landing, because then we can use the crashers to get seismic data. Would be the plan. And we've got 3 different things, so it makes sense to do 3 different decouplings. Assuming it doesn't burn up in the atmosphere, which I don't think it will do. Four, 3, 2, 1, stop. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. It's probably not going to be perfect because these things never are. 5162, that's fine. We can hopefully fix our although that's going to put our periapsis here on the opposite side. But I think we can wait for Ike to come round so that we have, hopefully guaranteed coverage. Because obviously we want add a maneuver here. So we want 846. So we want to go down to 800 first of all. $895. 846 718. Seven one nine. 718.8. Ooh, that's very close. Again, let's rotate ourselves to point in the direction we want to go before we time warp, and hope that it doesn't move too much. And then this should hopefully, yeah, we have a kind of like 3-hour orbit time, so. Probably have enough fuel left in the external tanks to get ourselves into like a nice low parking orbit. I'm thinking like 70k or something. Basically, like it's basically increase the chances that these things will deorbit themselves when we decouple them. Let's just do this. I then hope we have like, it's not the end of the world if we don't, because hopefully we should looks like we do though. We do have full probe control, which is good. Let's pop these at 20, just to give us a bit of, hopefully some fine control over our final. Oh, we're actually doing it. Okay, what is it? 847. 207? 846718. Okay, 713. 718.5. God damn, this thing is so finicky. 4.5 versus 718.5. 84678 brilliant. So we're done with this. We want to reduce that to 500 exactly on the, and I think we should be okay because Ike's on the other side. And I'm wondering if rather than popping this, because I think what's happening with the thing is that when we use the rocket engine to leave the thing, I think the rocket engine pushes on this thing and adjusts its orbit. So I'm wondering if we do a thing where we decouple it, we rotate this in such a way that it goes away from the thing, just to separate it, and then rotate it back to normal when we're done. I'm thinking if we do that, might give us a bit more of a precise job. But we wanted to go. Actually, we'll do this adjustment with RCS thrusters, which we will up a bit to well, up to half, just to give us a bit of And again, we're going to be going forward, so yeah. 1 hour 32 minutes. So let's go to 1 hour 30. Yeah, Ike's orbit is pretty quick. Right. Pop ourselves prograde. And keep an eye on that. We want that to be 500 dead. And we'll do this in when we're within like 20 seconds of apoapsis, because we don't want to affect the apoapsis too much. We want to be going. We want to be going. We want to be RCSing retrograde. Okay. 500 dead. Right, that is exactly the orbit we want. Should be a nice 3851, which is, yeah, pretty much what we wanted. So, we'll basically do the same thing again, and let's just see where Ike is at the moment. So Ike is currently here, so I'm guessing that Ike will be around about. Ike's going to be on the right side of Duna, so that we should be fine to maintain. And then our direct connection to the Kerbal Space Center is going along this vector, so we're on the right side of Duna for our deployment, which is good. So before we do anything, let's set ourselves up at normal. And then we're looking at a 50 meters per second injection. So probably, yeah, we'll do the first one nice and early. But yeah, let's go to MIP. 1 hour 32, so let's go to 1 hour about 27. There you go, warp that. Right. Let's try this out. So we start with this one. Let's aim the camera up here for now. We appear to already be facing retrograde, but we can control from here. Yeah, that's fine. Oh no! Stop! Actually, can we just get the whole thing to rotate so that it's pointing retrograde? Yeah, that works. Cool. Right, let's do all the assist. Yeah, I forgot to do that. Right, we are 4 minutes from periapsis. That's fine. Gives us plenty of time. Let's decouple. Let's switch back to this thing. And then hopefully gracefully rotate it away. Like so. Yeah, like these. I'm pretty sure I set these decouplers to have zero decoupling force, but apparently they don't because decoupling um, is changing our orbit slightly. Activate engine, turn on torque, point retrograde, and let's sort out our maneuver node because we don't know how long this burn's going to be yet. So add maneuver, we want 50.77, or we want to get this down to 22138. So we go up to around about the right. Oop. So, so let's get it up to 50 and then fine tune it. 4-second burn, so we should be fine. Then we 22138. There we go. It's 4-second burn, which is let's try and make that a 12-second. If we can get this down to 33. 13-second burn, that's fine. Yes, we now know that it's a 13. It's a 13-second burn if we have about 1/3 of max thrust. So if we just warp to our maneuver. Two two one three eight. 22138. Duna Comsat 1. Flip to satellites. Complete the maneuver. Radial in. And deploy our solars. Nice. Right, and then we can hopefully... Oh no, it's gone too far away. That's fine. Duna Comsat, switch to... It's the disadvantage with around larger bodies is you need more delta V, so it means that you end up drifting further away by the time you're done with your maneuver. Which is fine. So yeah, our let's see, what's our orbital period is now. Oh, it's just 3 hours and 8 minutes, which yeah, well, it should be rounding up to 3 hours and 9. So oh no, 3851. It's still the same. That's good. That works. Cool. Right. So without further ado, let us Don't know what that is. So periapsis is 3 hours and 6. I want to go about, well, let's go 3 hours and like 2, because hopefully it shouldn't take too long to. 3 hours 4. Nope. 3 hours and 2. Let's go there. Whee. Cool. So yeah, periapsis is 3 minutes 46 seconds away. That is fine. Right. So let's again. It's sort of like, well, it's this way is retrograde, I believe. So we spinny winny this around. Not that much. That'll do. Let's switch this to stability assist. Aim at here, just for the ease of thing. Control from here, that's about right. Right, let's switch back and then hopefully again rotate it just away so that we don't end up being pushed by the rocket when it takes off, or when we start decelerating. Probably okay to leave it there. 2 minutes to periapsis. So let's activate this, set it to 33. Oh yeah. Turn torque on. Point ourselves retrograde. We probably have time to set up our maneuver. $22.12. Maybe a bit more than that. 21.38. One minute to burn. Two to 138. Two to 138. Jobs are good. Talk should be on because we were here. Configure naming. This is Duna Comsat 2, isn't it? 2 of 3. Accept. Radial in. Action set 4. Action group 10. Deploy our solars. There we have a communication satellite. There's Ike. Cool. Right. I assume our other thing is now too far away to things, so let's switch to. And again, our orbital period is 103.851, which again is what we want. So yeah, hopefully the it's not 100% perfect, but it's close enough for our purposes. So let's pop this back to normal. And we have one more deployment here. The arrival of Duna Lander. The Duna Lander is still 17 days away, so this is fine. I think we definitely have enough time to, again, like the actual like landing on Ike, etc. will be like only take a few minutes of game time. So we can settle on the surface of Ike, and we can make sure we're not going to be doing things when we need to bring the Duna Lander into orbit. Right, we are now pointed at normal. So yes, I think by the time we go around again, Ike will be on the other side, but we should hopefully have communication via the other satellites. 3.6, let's go to like 3.4 is a bit close. 3.3, let's do that. Meow. Right. Gorgeous Duna is there. We're heading. Let's. Oh, other way. Let's rotate ourselves so that we are. So the satellite is pointing roughly retrograde. Like so. Switch back to stability assist. Aim our camera up here, and it doesn't really matter that much. Control from here. That's cool. We are 2 minutes away. Let's decouple. It doesn't matter too much now because we don't need this to stay in the perfect orbit because this is our last deployment. So I think I'll just do the tiny nudge. Yeah, a bit more of a nudge than that. Maybe we can, hopefully. That works. Rotate her away. There you go. And yeah, we're going to keep these attached, and hopefully, yeah, I'm going to try and get these to crash into Duna surface after we've done our Duna landing. Will be the plan, till we get some nice data. Let us. We have 1 minute and 3 seconds. That should be fine. Let's just add our maneuver. Okay, that's too much. Oh wait, yeah. Oh, that'll be why. We need to set this to 33%. There we go. We have. Oh yeah, we need to turn on the reaction. There we go. Okay, we don't need to worry too much about this. We can just do this by eye. Oh. 22138, wasn't it? No, that's 22112. Okay, that's fine. We can ignore this. Let's just go back to this and 22138. Cool. Again, we have plenty of fuel in this thing, so don't need to worry too much. Configure vessel naming. This is Duna Comsat Bree. Accept. Cool. Action group thingy. Action set 4. Radial in. And deploy those solar panels. Right, that's it. That is 3 of 3. Hopefully we should have a nice little relay network around Duna now, which means that hopefully we'll have communication with the Duna Lander whenever and wherever it comes into land, comes into do its capture burn. And now we switch back to this thing for the fight for the well, not last time, but we do for the purposes of this thing. And now what we do is I want to put this in a lower orbit. I think Duna's atmosphere ends at 50, so I'm thinking of putting it at like 60, and then like at a later point we can worry about so at a later point, yeah, after we land, we'll decouple these things, and then hopefully these these separatrons will give them enough retrograde burn so they will deorbit, and then the idea is we try and sort of get them to deorbit somewhere near our landing site in the hope that, and then we will ride them into crash and see if we can get some seismic data, is the plan. So we are going to, rather than putting ourselves in a higher parking orbit, we're going to get ourselves into our lower orbit. So it's basically 2 maneuvers. So we have a maneuver here, which, so again, outputs this down to like, again, 60 kilometers. I think should be 10. I think that should be 10 kilometers above the atmosphere. Because if I recall, Juna's atmosphere ends at 50, Eve's ends at 90, and Kerbin ends at 70. I think. We'll know because this thing will start skimming the atmosphere if we're not. If not, I mean, again, like yeah, I guess we'll see if it's still outside the atmosphere. I think it should be, but yeah. So that is a 17-second burn. Let's point ourselves at our maneuver direction. And again, 105 meters per second would probably be similar to get us to circularize there. So we're going to have loads of fuel left. We should be able to fully refuel the Duna return ship with this. So we don't need to worry too much about refueling from the Ike Lander transfer stage. I mean, that's nearly out of fuel anyway. So we can just leave that and use that to deorbit it when the time comes. So we are at 1 hour and 26 minutes. So let's get ourselves off this insertion orbit. We don't want to overburn this because we don't want to end up going into the atmosphere. So. 60.2 kilometers, that's fine. So yeah, hopefully that is not in the atmosphere. I don't think it is. Again, I think it's 50 kilometers is Duna's atmosphere. So let's add our circularization here. T 200 meters per second, which is fine. 61 to 60 seems fine. You'll see how it's turning a lot faster now because it's got a lot less mass on it. Let's see if we get yeah, I don't think we're in the atmosphere. I think this is a relatively safe Duna orbit, low Duna orbit. And then hopefully now, like when the time comes, we can hopefully decouple these and these should deorbit themselves, and then we'll be ready to eventually use this to refuel our main ship when we're ready to, or when we're done with the landing, etc. Don't see what that is. 18, 17 seconds. There you go. Well, that's fine. And again, I don't think we're in the atmosphere, so that is good. Yeah, we'll just leave this here now. Because I think this is a lower orbit than the Duna Lander is due to come in at. And the Duna Lander is still a good 16 days away. Again, I feel like I'd rather do the I'll do the Duna Lander capture, so we have the Duna Lander in orbit, and then we're basically like in a steady state then, and then we can just do whatever. Like we can, I think that's what we'll do now. Yeah, because again, like we can wait 16 days. I think. Let's switch back to Pioneer, just see what the situation is like with their science lab, because it's been a few days. 350 out of 500. Let's stick an alarm for. Oh, wrong. Let's add an alarm for their science lab. See 11. So the science lab's gonna go before that does. So we're getting to the 500 science, which is good. So I'm tempted just to. Actually, okay, we don't. yeah, we don't. I'm not that particular. So basically, by the time we're done with the Duna Lander, we'll come back here. We will transmit our science. We will, and then we'll sort out docking and doing our engineering work on the, if we have time, which will come in 33 minutes. So I think if we jump to ship, need to use this more. Cool. Let's delete this because we don't want to miss the. Cool. So, oh yes, we'll be staging these debris when we're, because in theory this should be full and these should be the ones emptying out. And this should, if I recall, ooh, we have a very weak signal. But we still have full probe control, which is good. Hopefully that should improve when we get to Duna periapsis, which is here. Duna periapsis 102, 100. Yeah, we're going to park about 100, weren't we? Which gives us a bit of because the Duna Lander's got a fair bit of again, like the orbital maneuvers there were like 100 to 200, and that was to get down from like a 500 and 800 kilometer orbit. So once we're down here, it should be like orbital change should be very, very relatively cheap relative to the amount of fuel we have. Okay, let's point ourselves at our maneuver node. Which again, I think Juna should be coming at us from that direction. 4-minute 32-second burn. This is going to take a while. Right, so yeah, we have deleted those. We don't have the alarms, so that's not going to screw us for It's not going to screw us for timing. This is a bit Oh yeah, because oh wait, is that right? Yeah. I thought that was what was that? When in the VAB, I thought that was enough, but um, we'll have to see. It'll be interesting if it isn't. Actually, if it isn't, then I guess um, I guess we can try repacking the parachutes before we launch, just in case we need to. We come back, like just in case we end up crashing. But yeah. Anyway. Excuse me. So let's just go to our find out where June is coming from. Is that it? That's it there. There we go. Right. This is, yeah, the camera doesn't know what it wants to do. I didn't know those are still at full power. That's cool. So 10 seconds, we'll physical time warp up to stage and then Bam. I realise that that debris is on a. Yeah, it is within the it is within the sphere of influence. So I imagine that might get an interaction with Ike at some point. Um, but yeah, so that is orbit 102. So 102, it's about a 3 kilometer difference. It's not the. We can worry about it later. Um, it's parked. We have 20 minutes. I think that's probably enough time to do our rendezvous with um, the. Yeah, let's do that. So let's switch to this KSS Pioneer. We have sunlight, which we will now use to hopefully. Come on, researching. We can. Yeah, 500. Cool. We transmit science. Hopefully our power isn't too depleted. Okie dokie, so yeah, we're targeting this thing, which we want to ideally come in on the daylight side, so let's see if we can't arrange this. Okay, let's okay, looks like one orbit is the, we want to, 9.1, 8.9, it's probably about to go back up to 8, yep, 7.9, so we're 7, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 6.7, 6.8. So yeah, it's basically sort of clicking these buttons until you get 6.5, 6.3, 6.2, 6.3. Let's see. Oh, no. 6.0, 5.8, 7, 6, 5, 6. Yeah, it's basically a case of clicking these buttons until 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. Again, within 5 kilometers, we should be fine. But see if I can get any closer. 4.9. It's probably about to go back up to 5. Yep. feel like from Bruin to 2.5 kilometers we should be okay. What's our rotation speed like? Oh yeah, check when we actually have power. Cool. Right. That's all right. That's okay. Our relative velocity is going to be 20.7, which is yeah, not too bad. I think we'll let's see if we can do this rendezvous at least. So a 2-second burn, which is obviously not a lot, but we can. Okay. Okay, that's pretty much exactly what we wanted. So 33 minutes. Let's go to 28 minutes. Let's go a little earlier than that. 27. Let's go there. I should switch to target. Yeah, we go. Okay, let's do this, and let's so I think what we can do is we can try pulling our prograde marker onto the target marker, which will hopefully like so, which reduces our intersect right down to 600 meters, which is good. We're still like traveling not as fast as we, so we can still afford to accelerate a bit. Cool, right. Probably don't want to go too much faster than that, and it also takes us time to rotate. So let's rotate round to our retrograde, and so we'll be steering whilst slowing down now. And then hopefully, once we get within range, all we need to do is point the other thing retrograde, and we should be coming in just nicely to go and then dock with it. Right, let's move that way so we can see what we're dealing with. So we're now pushing retrograde, so we want to be ideally, actually, if we can rotate this around so it's above us, like so, we get a bit of a clearer view as to what's going on. .8 kilometers. 3.5 kilometers. So yeah, now we're getting to the situation where we want to start slowing down. So so our intersect 1 goes right down to 85 meters, which is nice. And we are at 27, which is exactly the kind of speed we want to be doing. Okay, 8 meters, right? Let's just plonk ourselves because we're currently traveling a little bit fast for the distance we're at. But that is okay. Let's just chop this down to like. There we go. Yeah, so this is good. Like our burns now are going to increase our. But again, like as long as we're within 100 meters of like our intersects within 100 meters, I'm absolutely fine with that because we'll want to come to a stop around about then anyway, and then do our final approach. So yeah, this is the kind of thing that like orbital docking is one of the most. So I mean, I kind of agree and that it's one of the most difficult skills in the base game of Kerbal Space Program to learn. But once you're confident in doing it, it opens up a lot of options for how you approach like interplanetary missions, etc. So, for example, like I think my Duna mission in my career save, I brought the lander with the main ship, which I didn't do that because I was not confident in docking. I was he says as he's coming in a little bit fast. But just because I figured it was worth bringing like one of the landers with the main ship, and the Ike Lander was quite light, so it wasn't too much of a problem. Okay, let's just yeah. But like yeah, as long as you can put something in a circular orbit, it make like you're confident enough in doing an orbital rendezvous. It means that you don't have like you can send different pieces of the mission, and you just worry about docking with things, um, like where you need to use them. And again, with like docking between two ships is relatively easy because you're just pointing, you just get the docking ports to point at each other, and you just go forwards. Okay, we've got 5 minutes. I will do the docking, and once the docking is done, then I will call it a I will call it an evening. We'll start off with the end. So basically, like next Sunday's session will basically be the Ike landing primarily, and then maybe getting to undocking with the Duna Lander will be the plan. Yeah. Cool. That's stopped. Right. Let's open the shield. Control from here. Rotate ourselves towards target. Switch to this thing. Control from here. Rotate ourselves towards target. Target the docking port. Switch back. Let's just get ourselves a bit closer. Yeah, I do need to go in a few minutes because yeah, I'm hosting a multiplayer game, so don't want to be too late. Cool. Let's see if we can't target that. Point ourselves at target. Hopefully these should now target each other, and hopefully now we just need to edge our way forwards. So just watch them come in. Interesting to see what the 235 versus. Oh yeah, I can't do that yet. Hopefully these should just nicely dock together. Nice. Right, cool. It is. We're coming up on 2 hours stream. I think this is a good place to end it. So we have this. We'll. You see, there is more fuel in this than there is in this, so I feel like it's not worth doing that. So what we'll do next time is we will decouple this thing, leave our lander, We will do a little bit of engineering on it. We will then do our Ike landing, will be the plan. And yeah, then we'll hopefully do our Ike landing and not kill any Kerbals in the process. Let's go back to the Kerbal Space Center because everything's now in a stable position, so we're fine to leave everything as is, and then we'll do our Ike stuff, and then hopefully we'll get time some Duna stuff as well. But let's save our game here. Let's go back to the menu. Boot or bust. Cool. Well, yes, I should be shooting off now. So yeah, hopefully people who've been watching have enjoyed. If you're watching on YouTube, then don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll be seeing the next time will be 5 p.m. BST on Sunday for Ike business and hopefully some Duna stuff as well. But yeah, so yes, thanks for watching and cheerio.